let me go ahead and get my video capture going. All right, so here we go. All right, guys, we are here with the Pitchfork Podcast today for January the 2nd, 2021. That being said, guys, we are going to be showing several things on the Pitchfork Podcast. With that being said, guys, you must follow me on social media, guys. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on all social media links in the description box below. Let me see if my face camera is going to be working, cooperating with me today. We need to get this working today because this is becoming frustrating now. Okay. Let's figure out why this is not working for me. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get this fixed up. So see, this is what I've been working on all day long. Like what trying to make sure the podcast is gonna be looking just fine. Make sure it's not gonna be looking like doo-doo the entire time. So, I mean, with that being said, guys, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the share button, let people know that I run this podcast. Because if you don't, then people aren't going to know that I run this podcast. They're going to think that I'm just this weird guy that shows up on people's screens every day and doesn't really do anything or show anything and doesn't really say anything. So, we're going to get into news pretty soon. Pretty soon we're going to be getting into several news stories. So all right, there we go. All right, so with that being said, guys, we're going to be getting into several news stories. Let's go ahead and take that out of the way. All right, so today we're going to be going over stories with Newsmax. We're going to be going over stories with MSNBC, with CNN, with Fox News. We're going to be going over several stories from all over, sources from all over the places. The reason being is because, guys, I don't want to just give you stories from one source. I want to give you stories from multiple sources. The reason being is because I want you guys to read the news the same way that I read news. Read news in that I don't want you just to take it from one source and then just basically run with that. I want you to take it from multiple sources and then learn to try to be to be less biased and more impartial. I know some people are going to say, you want me to be a centrist? Yes. A political free agent. Absolutely. Make people, make it so that people are aware that your vote must be earned and it will not just be given. I mean that especially for black folk. Let people know that your vote has to be earned and it won't just be given. So let's put this hashtag in the chat. Hashtag no more political fans. Spread it. No more political fans. We don't want no more political fans. All right? Political fans are done. We're tired. We are tired of political fans, aren't we? No more fans. Hashtag no more fans. You know, because my thing is, you know, I can't be a fan of a politician right now. Right now, I think politicians don't give a damn about us. Right now, I think politicians have failed us. Right now, I think politicians have abused us severely. I think that politicians have shown us nothing but their asses. That politicians have shown us that not only do they not care about us, but that we are expendable to them. And I think that the most unfortunate part about this whole situation with politicians is how easily people have been fooled and bamboozled into thinking that their enemy is their fellow American. How easy it was to fool our fellow Americans into thinking that your enemy was your neighbor. How easy it was to fool your fellow American into thinking that we didn't matter to each other. You know, that's the saddest part about this whole thing with the whole Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter thing, is that it causes a divide that doesn't need to be there. It causes a rift that doesn't need to exist. You know, the divide between the Proud Boys and Antifa, the divide between, you know, wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, the divide between, you know, climate change and non-climate change, the divide between men and women, the divide between race, the divide between social classes. It should not be there. It should be a united front for the American cause, which is the American dream. That's what, even though the American dream is unrealistic right now, we should all be striving to try to make the country so good to the point where the American dream is not only a dream, it is a reality. But unfortunately, we have been tricked over time into believing that our fellow man is our enemy. We've been fooled. We've been had. And I think the saddest part is that even though I think many people realize that, they still won't wake up. Let's get into the news stories. All right. Guys, hit the like button, hit the share button. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube, on Facebook. Follow me on every platform you can follow me on, because the best way for me to survive and for you to keep hearing my lovely voice and keep seeing my chocolate face and seeing my content is to follow me on all platforms. Increasingly, that's becoming necessary for content creators. All right. We're going to get into the first news stories. We're going to cover Newsmax first. I'm going to give you all the links to the stories. All right, so I'm going to cover something that Maga wanted me to cover. All right. Now, all right, so we're going to get into the first news stories. In 2020, voter fraud claims were not baseless. All right, this is going to be from Newsmax. I'm going to give you guys a link. I'll cover it, Maga. Don't worry. It's gonna be for Maga, because Maga said, I got a message saying, hey, you should look at this. All right, Newsmax, they're coming back. They're coming back around, man. All right. You guys ready for this? Each time a member of the big media reports on someone referring to acts of fraud or even irregularities in the November 3rd presidential election, they describe them as baseless claims or unproven. Such words are included in almost every wire story since Election Day, published by the Associated Press, Reuters, Bloomberg, and others. Actually, there are many examples of voter fraud that took place during the 2020 election, and serious evidence of voting irregularities relating to the mail-in ballots. Here is what we know. Nevada, the silver state, rushed a universal vote-by-mail measure through the legislature in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The bill, known as AB4, lacked safeguards to assure voter identity and was implemented without cleaning voter rolls of deceased voters, those who had moved or who had become ineligible to vote. Attorney Jesse Benal testified before the Senate Homeland Security Committee on December 16th as to what resulted. He had proof of nearly 90,000 fraudulent or improper votes that were cast, including instances where more than 42,000 people voted multiple times, at least 1,500 people listed as dead voted, more than 19,000 non-residents voted, in excess of 8,000 people cast mail-in votes from non-existent addresses, over 15,000 votes were cast from commercial or vacant addresses, nearly 4,000 non-citizens voted. Considering Biden took Nevada by 33,596 votes, these allegations are serious. Let's go and look at that real quick, because I'm going to fact check him on the fly. Nevada lawsuit, Trump. Let's go look that up real quick. Nevada Independent. Let's go look that up. Nevada Supreme Court. Okay, here we go. It's December 8th. This has been updated. The Nevada Supreme Court has ruled unanimously to dismiss an appeal filed by President Donald Trump's campaign seeking to overturn the state's presidential election results. Members of the courts wrote in a 6-0 opinion published late Tuesday that the Trump campaign had failed to show any serious errors or flaws in the Carson City District Court Judge James Russell's order last week that would warrant a reversal. Russell's order denied the campaign's election contest lawsuit amid findings that the campaign had not backed up its claims of mass voter fraud, throwing the state's presidential election results into doubt. So basically, all these claims that this guy just made here about Nevada here is bullshit, because the Supreme Court in Nevada just called it bullshit. And let me go ahead and put that in the chat right there. Nevada Supreme Court throws out Trump campaign lawsuit. Give y'all a link to that. Yeah. See, sometimes Trump, you just gotta have a snicker, you know? See right here? You just gotta have a snicker, Trump. It just makes you whole, you know? But doing this kind of shit, Well, Arizona. This one's kind of this one's here. This is gonna be funny. So, the Arizona Republican Party alleges more than 100,000 ballots might have been improperly cast in the Grand Canyon state, including some 28,000 duplicated ballots in Maricopa County alone. The Arizona GOP party chairman, Dr. Kelly Ward, also addressed in one of her video reports the subject of fake news outlets that tend to mischaracterize allegations of voter fraud. We are trying to have integrity in our electoral process, she said, adding, We have every right to make legal challenges. Again, only 10,457 votes separate Biden and President Donald Trump on Arizona, a 0.3% difference. Interesting. We're going to look up that too. First of all, why is it that the voter fraud only goes in favor of Joe Biden but never in favor of Trump? Because I remember Democrats making the exact same claim in 2016, and I was supposed to just disregard that, right? Just not even listen to it, right? But then all of a sudden, when Donald Trump, when he claims it, suddenly I'm supposed to come back and listen to it. It sounds almost like Russia, but that's just me. Let's go look up the Arizona Supreme Court throws out Trump case. So I want to look up just the Supreme Court case. Okay, here's another one. Arizona Supreme Court throws out GOP election fraud lawsuit. Okay. I'll post that in the chat for you. That way you can have it. That way you can see all the lovelies right there. All the lovelies, all the preciousness, Okay, so it is by Howard Fisher, published on December 8th by KAWC. All right, so Phoenix. The state's high court late Tuesday threw out a bid by the head of the state Republican Party to void the results of the presidential race. In a unanimous ruling, the justices said that Kelly Ward failed to present any evidence of misconduct or illegal votes in the tally that found Joe Biden had outpolled Donald Trump in Arizona. Chief Justice Robert Brutino, writing for the court, said Ward, who has the burden of proof when challenging an election, provided no evidence that the electors pledged to Trump got more votes than those pledged to Biden, let alone establish any degree of fraud or a sufficient error rate that would undermine the certainty of the election results. Brutino acknowledged, as did the trial judge, that there were some errors made when damaged or ballots with extra marks had to be redone by hand so they could be fed through counting machines. But he said that a random check of 1,626 of these ballots ordered by the trial court found an error rate of as little as 0.37% or as much as 0.55%, extrapolating that out of the 27,869 ballots that had to be duplicated. Brutino said it would have gained Trump just 103 votes, or at best 153 votes, neither of which is sufficient to call the election results into question. A quick Google search. That's all I did. Just a quick search. It didn't even take me that long, I want them this stuff. That quick. That's brutal, huh? All right. Let's go down here. You ready for this? All right. Wisconsin. President Trump's legal team sought to have some 221,000 ballots disqualified that were cast in the state's two most heavily Democratic counties, Dane and Milwaukee. At issue were incomplete absentee ballot envelopes where clerks filled in missing information, as well as those that were issued without a proper request, and still others that were the subject of ballot harvesting. In a narrow 4-3 ruling, the Wisconsin Supreme Court rejected the challenge, claiming the campaign was not entitled to the relief it seeks. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a 4-3 ruling, it's still a ruling, and that's how courts work. You can bitch about it all you want to, but that's how courts work. Sorry. I mean, you can't have as a part of the original as a part of the original plan to go to the Supreme Court with the very real possibility of it coming down to a split decision, and then complain that when a state Supreme Court gives you a split decision or gives you a narrow ruling, you then start bitching. Yeah, because I just can't take that seriously. Okay. The campaign filed its petition for a writ of certiorari, with the U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday. Only 20,682 votes separate Trump and Biden in the Badger State, or 0.61%. One can hardly say this is a baseless claim, and pure reason has many people suspicious. Biden underperformed Obama in 80% of Wisconsin counties, but hugely outperformed in just 5 counties to win the state. Can I point something out to you? Hey. There wasn't a Donald Trump then. But you're admitting that the Wisconsin Supreme Court just rejected it, right? You see what all this is, right? This is a giant wish list of bitching. That's all this is. This is someone won a participation trophy and is bitching because they can't have one. That's all this is. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that in just 3 of these claims, right? And well, in one of them I didn't have to even go and look it up. He flat out told you the state Supreme Court told them to fuck off, basically. And I managed to do that research in just seconds. So why is it that all the people who appear in my comment section bitching about it, oh my God, how could you say the things you're saying about the election? I want my participation trophy. All right. Why is it? Why is it? Why is it that when I do the clear research, right, and I go and I look it up, and I go through the effort of putting things on the screen. I go through the effort of doing all that digging. You get some asshole who will take that shit, right? Take all that fucking work, right? And then say, you know what, I found one thing wrong with that, so that means everything that you say is just completely wrong. And then they have the nerve and the audacity to wonder why I have a very short temper, and I have a very, I don't really tolerate a whole lot of bullshit. Do you see why now? Because just that quickly, all right? I went to go look that shit up, right? Just that fucking quickly. And yet, these assholes have not taken the slightest goddamn effort to do that shit, but want to argue with me, though. I mean, oh my God. It's absolutely frustrating. I gotta be honest with you, it's absolutely frustrating. It gets on your last goddamn nerves. Let's move on here. Senator Ted Cruz, Lion Tedorino, Lion Ted. This man is a hobbit. Okay? God, his face even look weird. Senator Ted Cruz to lead Senate GOP in opposing certification. Ted, Ted, first of all, you are pretending to be a you know, American, but my thing is though, Ted, you know, I mean, didn't Trump say that you were lying, Ted? Didn't Trump say that you were a liar? Right? So why is it that you are trying to oppose the certification of the person who beat the guy who calls you a liar, who made you into a meme? Why would you oppose that? And why is your wedding ring on your right hand, sir? That's suspect. But why are you opposing this when the guy turned you into a meme? You will forever be known as Lying Ted. You know, I gotta tell you, Ted Cruz is so much of a liar that he actually expects people to lie to themselves and forget what happened in the past. This is released on Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. Happy belated New Year. Let's get into the story, guys. Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas, said Saturday he is joining a block of about a dozen Republican senators that will raise objections to January 6th. January 6th to Joe Biden's November 3rd victory, according to a joint statement from the lawmakers. Let me go and get you a link from that joint statement. It's from Ted Cruz's own website. That way you guys can have that. Here you go. All right, so Cruz and 10 other Republican senators or senators-elect said in a statement they would raise objections in Congress on January 6th. It is when Congress is required by the U.S. Constitution to meet and accept the results of the Electoral College, a gathering that is typically a formality. The statement calls for a delay of certification and a 10-day investigation into accusations of wrongdoing, which have been stoked by Trump but repeatedly dismissed in court. This is from the statement by Senator Cruz. Congress should immediately appoint an electoral commission with full investigatory and fact-finding authority to conduct an emergency 10-day audit of the election returns in the disputed states. Once completed, individual states would evaluate the commission's findings and could convene on a special legislative session to certify a change in their vote if needed. Accordingly, we intend to vote on January 6th to inject the electors from disputed states as not regularly given and lawfully certified the statutory requisite unless and until the emergency 10-day audit is completed. That's how that came across. Let's listen to all. Let's actually read off all these idiots here. Okay. According to a joint statement released Saturday, joining Cruz are GOP senators Ron Johnson, Republican from Wisconsin, James Lankford, Republican from Oklahoma, of course, Steve Daines, Republican from Montana, John Kennedy, Republican from Louisiana, Nolens, I'm guessing. Marsha Blackburn, Republican from Tennessee, and Mike Braun, Republican from Indiana, as well as Senators-elect Cynthia Loomis, Republican from Wyoming, from Wyoming, actually, I should say. Roger Marshall, Republican from Kansas, Bill Hagerty, Republican from Tennessee, and Tommy Tuberville, Republican from Alabama. We are not naive. We fully expect most, if not all, Democrats, and perhaps more than a few Republicans, to vote otherwise. But support of election integrity should not be a partisan issue. A fair and credible audit conducted expeditiously and completed well before January 20 would dramatically improve Americans' faith
in our electoral process and would significantly enhance the legitimacy of whoever becomes our next president. We owe that to our people, to the people. These are matters worthy of the Congress and entrusted to us to defend, guys. We do not take this action lightly. We are acting not to thwart the democratic process, but rather to protect it. And every one of us should act together to ensure that the election was lawfully conducted under the Constitution, and do everything we can to restore faith in our democracy.
Actually, we're not a democracy. We are a republic.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. How are you the Republican Party and don't realize that we live in a damn republic? In a republic. But that ain't nothing my bitch doing, right? You know, but that whole letter came across as, from this whole joint statement, it came across as is, we know that we lost, but we have to raise money because Democrats outraise us year after year after year. So let's start a giant bitch fest where we can convince people who seem to think that since you had some Irish slaves at some point, it somehow compares to the amount of black slaves that you had in the country. Let's also appeal to the same people who think that the same police who are going to take their guns or the same police who suddenly love them. Let's also appeal to those people so that we can fundraise, because those people don't get the irony of what they are in their everyday actions. So we will appeal to those people because they don't quite get cognitive dissonance when they see it, and they argue with people all the time based on their own internal cognitive dissonance. So we're going to appeal to the lowest common denominator. And what many of those people don't seem to realize is that they're treating you like you're stupid because you're acting stupid. If you believe anything that these fucking crooks are saying, you're stupid. If a mass of politicians are trying to convince you of something, they're probably lying to you. Since when have you ever walked into a room full of politicians and they were being honest with you? Huh? Since when were politicians in, let's see, how many is, let's see. Hold on. Cruz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. When has a room of 11 politicians ever been honest to you? Oh, now it changes because the guy that you liked didn't win. So now all of a sudden the normal rules that normally applies, right? Normal rules that normally apply, they no longer apply, huh? Interesting. Oh my God. That's very, very interesting. Let's move on here. Trump already considered front runner for 2020. Okay. I've already done a story like this before. So I'm just going to go ahead and get you that story. I'm just going to go ahead and toss that to you. You can go ahead and have this. If you want to go ahead and have that and go and read it for yourself. I'm not going to go over that story. Done in the past, but this story that I want to cover. Mitch McConnell's home vandalized over blockage of stimulus checks. Oh my God. This is going to be a major story right here. Let me go ahead and get you guys a link to that. It's going to be from Newsmax. They came after Mitch McConnell's home. They say, hey, Mitch the bitch, Where's my money? Bitch better have my money. All right. Mitch McConnell's home in Louisville, Kentucky was vandalized over his blockage of a vote on a Senate bill that would provide $2,000 in the stimulus checks to Americans, reports WDRB. Messages were written on the home using red and white spray paint, including "Where's my money?" The rest of the home wasn't damaged. Louisville police say the incident happened around 5 a.m. Saturday. A home belonging to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco was vandalized with spray paint on New Year's Day with phrases like 2K, council rent, and we want everything written on her garage door. A pig's head and fake blood were also left near the vandalism, reports reports KGO TV. Oh my God! I'm going to definitely read that one. Oh my gosh! I've spent my career fighting for the First Amendment and defending peaceful protests. I appreciate every Kentuckian who has engaged in the democratic process, whether they agree with me or not, McConnell said in a statement Saturday. This is different, he continued. Vandalism and the politics of fear have no place in our society. He concluded, my wife and I have never been intimidated, have never been intimidated by this toxic playbook. We just hope our neighbors in Louisville aren't too inconvenienced by this radical tantrum. Oh man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Shit get real out here, y'all. Shit get real out here. People ain't playing no more. Bitch better have my money. You know, the freaking American people. Yo, the American people, we are on our Rihanna shit right now. We on our Rihanna shit right now. You know what? In the chat right now, I want to see the chat right now. I want to hear y'all say it. All right, no threats to politicians, but I want no threats to politicians, but hashtag bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. That's right. That's right. Yo, and we about to go over here to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. House Speaker Pelosi. Her home was vandalized too. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're gonna watch this one. Hold on. We're gonna watch this one here. We're gonna watch this one here. Oh yeah. We're gonna make sure. Okay, we're gonna make sure. All right, we're gonna make that. We gonna let that freaking commercial play first. Then we gonna watch that one here. Okay, let me go ahead and get y'all a link to this. That one there, man. This is gonna be a spice story right here. Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco home vandalized overnight on New Year's Day. All right, we're gonna read this story first. All right. A home in San Francisco belonging to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was vandalized early Friday morning with an apparent reference to lawmakers' failed attempts to provide Americans with $2,000 COVID relief checks. The graffiti was found on the garage door of Pelosi's home overnight with the phrases 2K, council rent, and we want everything. Oh my God. As of early Friday afternoon, the garage door was covered with black garage bags. The vandals also left fake blood and what appears to be a pig head outside the House Speaker's San Francisco home. There are a lot of unresolved issues, and I don't think this is a useful way to go about it. And a terrible start to this new year, said Audrey Carlson, who has lived in the Pacific Heights neighborhood for 38 years. It's unclear if Pelosi was home at the time of the vandalism. Security cameras surround Nancy Pelosi's home. On the street, guards like Fred Kennerly with private security company hired specifically to protect multiple residents in the affluent neighborhood said. She has her own security. She has her own Capitol Police. They fly all the way out here from Washington D.C. with her. Kinley says this is not the first time that these attacks took place outside of Speaker Pelosi's home. Last time they hung the hair dryers and stuff. Hair dryers. Yo, they hung up hair dryers on trees. Bruh. Yo. They left pig's blood. They left blood. They left pig's head. They left hair dryers on trees. Yo. Yo. They out here wilding. Yo. Them boys out here wilding. Them boys say you better have their money, boy. Oh my God. Yo. Let me go back over this real quick. They say, listen, the graffiti was found on the garage door of Pelosi's home overnight with the phrases 2K, council rent, and we want everything. Yo. Them boys weren't playing, boy. They say we want our fuck. Yo. That is crazy, bro. So they got Nancy Pelosi and they got Mitch McConnell, bro. They got both them motherfuckers, bro. And they got Mitch McConnell too, yo. Yo, see, they got Nancy Pelosi. Let me go back to news, man. And they got Mitch McConnell last. They got the House Speaker and they got the Speaker of the House of the Senate. Yeah, McConnell old battle out. Where's my money? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, yo. Yeah, I'm not encouraging y'all to do this shit, but that's what I'm talking about. No more fucking fans, man. That's right. Wake the fuck up. That's right. Hashtag. That's right. Hashtag no more fans. Hashtag F the left. Hashtag F the right. Hashtag we the people. Yo, they got Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, old turtle back ass, yo. Let's go back over here. Portland mayor slams Antifa anarchists after NYE riot. So let me go ahead and get y'all a link to this. Yo, they went and they bust up Nancy Pelosi and they got them boys. The world going crazy right now, man. They had a riot over here in Portland again, yo. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler blaming violent Antifa anarchists for a New Year's Eve riot in the city is calling for tougher policing and penalties for people caught engaging in violence and vandalism. It's hard for most of us to even comprehend what goes on in the heads of people who think it's okay or a good idea to go on a violent rampage throughout the city on New Year's Eve and during a pandemic, Wheeler said Friday afternoon during a press conference, reports OPB. It's the height of selfishness. There are some people who just want to watch the world burn. Yo. Listen, Alfred, stop it, yo, Alfred. Let's move on here. The violence on New Year's Eve did not have a clear political purpose, said Wheeler, who described those committing the acts that included the use of commercial-grade fireworks, breaking windows, and lighting small fires as being mostly white, younger people. Wheeler said that the city's police are working with District Attorney Mike Smith to file charges against people who are responsible. He is planning a meeting potentially next week with federal, state, and local law enforcement officials to develop clear plans to address anarchist violence both here in Portland and throughout the state. He further called on state lawmakers to increase penalties for people who are caught committing criminal destruction and vandalism, and said he is seeking to allow police more authority to video demonstrators and gather information on small groups of organized criminals. The mayor also wants people who are found guilty of vandalizing businesses to be required to meet with their owners and employees to be ordered to do community service to repair damages they help cause. These people need to hear and understand the social and human consequences of their irresponsible actions, Wheeler said. Thursday night, approximately 100 people gathered in the same area of the city where demonstrations against police violence were held for weeks this past summer. Police declared the event a riot, with Multnomah County Sheriff Mike Reese and Portland Police Chief Chuck Lovell saying their officers were under attack. Smoke and impact munitions were used to break up the crowd. Items resembling Molotov cocktails were being thrown. Several small fires were set, and some people in the crowd threw rocks, bricks, and frozen water bottles at the responding officers, police said. They also launched fireworks towards the federal courthouse and the Multnomah County Justice Center, according to the reports. Oh my God, that was a beast, man. That was a beast. Let's go over to MSNBC. We're gonna shift left. All right. Oh man, this is gonna be a really, really crazy year. All right, so let's get into the news stories here. All right. Pelosi's and McConnell's homes vandalized after Congress fails to approve 2K stimulus checks. Again, the same story was covered on Fox and also on Newsmax, but I also just wanted to show you that it's being shown on other networks too. If you're linked to that. All right, but here's one story I wanted to cover. Search suspended for the boat carrying 20 people from Bahamas to Florida. The blue and white 29-foot Mako Cuddy cabin vessel departed from Bimini, Bahamas on Monday and was expected to arrive in Lake Worth, Florida. We're gonna drop this right here. This is a developing story. All right, here. The U.S. Coast Guard said it was suspending its search for a Florida bound boat with about 20 people on board. The blue and white 29-foot Mako Cuddy cabin vessel departed from Bimini, Bahamas on Monday, and was expected to arrive in Lake Worth, Florida, about 10 miles south of Palm Beach. The Coast Guard District 7 received a report Tuesday that the boat had not arrived at its destination, according to a press release. The Coast Guard and several other agencies searched an area of about 17,000 square miles for more than 3 days. It announced on Friday that the search was suspended. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the missing people, said Captain Stephen V. Broaden with 7th District Chief of Response. I encourage anyone with information about the people aboard to contact us as soon as possible. A spokesperson for the Coast Guard said Saturday that the agency did not have any information on the people aboard the boat. The search could resume if the Coast Guard gets new information, the spokesperson said. Police in the Bahamas did not immediately return a request for comment. But Bimini is about 50 miles from Florida's eastern coast. So people just went missing and no one knows anything. That seems awfully fishy to me. Let's go ahead here. So MSNBC. December.
We want to give us half an hour right now with a check of the headlines. Florida is now the.
December was the deadliest, most infectious month since the start of the pandemic. All right, this is going to be a very important story. Drop this in the chat. The link right there. You can follow along. By the way, guys, hit the like button, hit the share button. Make sure you share this stream and share my content on every platform that you are on. Also, make sure you are leaving likes, you're leaving comments, and you let me know how you feel about the show. And also call in. The number to call in is 253-203-6784. Again, the number to call in is 253-203-6784. I actually do pick up the number. I actually do, and if I actually miss your phone call, I will call back. I will do that. And I want to get you on air. Also, if you want, you can. If you don't have a phone, I totally get that during this period, because sometimes people don't have phones, and that's understandable, because right now it is what it is. Here's a link to my Discord, the Inferno. That way you can join up. You join the voice chat. I can actually get you in here. You can go ahead and talk, and I can use my desktop audio so that you can talk. That way, you know, you can have a way to participate in the show, and you don't have to sit here and try to get like a phone if you don't actually have one. The other thing I want you to know is that I run this show at 1 p.m. Pacific time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, and I run this show every day because I want people to have at least some of the news stories, but in a quick and more concise way, without sitting here and sit and do a bunch of advertisements. Now I'm advertising my own channel, but only for the sake of trying to boost the actual show. It's not just to try to like drag it on or anything. Now, with that being said, we're gonna get right back into the news stories. All right, so from MSNBC, December was the deadliest, most infectious month since the start of the pandemic. The U.S. had also surpassed 20 million cases amid the emergence of a new virus variant and a slower than expected vaccine rollout. All right, let's get into this. This is released on January 1st, 2021, which was just yesterday. By the way, guys, happy belated New Year. All right, the U.S. closed out 2020 with the deadliest and most infectious month since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, while surpassing 20 million confirmed COVID-19 cases. More than 77,000 people lost their lives in December to COVID-19, while 6.4 million people contracted. Wow, 6.4 million people contracted the virus amid the emergence of a new virus variant and delayed efforts to vaccinate people. The second deadliest month was April 2020, with more than 58,000 deaths. At least 227,651 new cases were reported on Thursday, and 3,451 people died, marking the second highest daily death toll, according to NBC News' tally. The virus has killed more than 300,000 people in the U.S. So you're talking about like 346,000 people. Like that's insane. Like, oh God. And you got darn near more than 20,000 more people dead in the month of December than the other highest point, which is April. I mean, that is just mind-boggling, man. At least 4 cases of the new COVID-19 variant, first detected in the United Kingdom, have been reported in in Colorado, California, and Florida. However, Mercedes Carthon, vice chairman of preventive medicine at Northwestern University, said experts are fairly confident this variant is now everywhere. This variant also appears to affect more adults under the age of 20. Carthon told MSNBC. And I think the reason why that's particularly critical is that this younger adult population is circulating more. They are performing some of the essential roles, such as delivery work, factory work, and they're just generally out there in the population, and that population isn't in line to be vaccinated soon. So basically, this is affecting younger and younger people, but it's not going to be. Oh my God! So this is basically it is a variant that is hitting younger people, but the younger people are the people that we need to be working and delivering stuff. So, oh my God, that is particularly troublesome, wouldn't you say? All right, guys, we're gonna take a 30-minute break. We're gonna be back with more Pitchfork Podcast, guys. We're gonna keep the show running a little bit longer than what we usually keep it running. With that being said, guys, let people know that I'm running this show. Hit like button, hit share button, guys. Let people know that I run this show. All right, guys. With that being said, we're gonna go take a quick break. We're gonna be back in 30 minutes, guys. In 30 minutes, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be showing you guys all the fun stuff. With that being said, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Pitchfork Podcast. All right. Bringing back with more Pitchfork Podcast. When we return, guys, we're going to be hitting up more MSNBC. We're going to be hitting up Fox News. We're going to be hitting up CNN, TMZ. And also, we're going to be hitting up several other things. Don't go anywhere. The number to call in is 253-203-6784. Again, the number to call in is 253-203-6784. You can follow me on Twitch, FusePainter86. On Twitter, Devs Africa. You follow me on YouTube, Devil's Advocate. I am streaming on 6 different platforms right now, guys. If you want to follow me on my social media platforms. Links are down in the description. If you want to become, if you want to become a patron, you should consider becoming a patron. Go to the link in my description box. If you want to go visit my merch store, I actually have a merch store now. Links are in the description. With that being said, guys, we're gonna take a 30-minute break. We'll be right back with Pitchfork Podcast. I gotta go walk the doggo and go visit the little boy's room. Be right back, guys. All right, guys, we're back with more Pitchfork Podcast. All right, thank you for sticking with me through that break. We didn't even take the whole full 30 minutes. We're back with more Pitchfork Podcast. Guys, if you like the stream, hit the like button, hit the share button, let people know that I run the stream. The number to call in is 253-203-6784. Again, the number to call in is 253-203-6784. Guys, we're going to go ahead and check to see if anyone's called in so far. No, we have not seen. Guys, you want to join me on Discord, join me on Discord. I left a link in the chat for you guys so you guys can go ahead and do that. You want to follow me on Twitter, it's Dev's Advocate. You want to follow me on Twitch, Fuse Painter 8086. You want to follow me on YouTube, it's Devil's Advocate, guys. This is the Pitchfork Podcast. We're going to be going through some news stories. I'm going to be doing some gaming a little bit later, League of Legends, a little bit of Left 4 Dead, a little bit of World War Z, a little bit of Doom Eternal, a little bit of Magic the Gathering. It may be a combination of all two, maybe just one or the other. It depends, guys, on how I feel on the day. But with that being said, guys, let's get into the news stories. Let's get right back into the news. All right, so the show's going to be running a little bit longer. We're going to take frequent breaks, but we're going to be getting to it. Okay, so anyways, this is going to be back into NBC News. Post the link in the chat for you guys so that you can have this. By the way, I hope you guys are having a great new year. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully your 2021 is going to be better than your 2020. GOP senators threaten to object to electoral college results if commission is not formed. The move has essentially no chance of overturning the results of the November presidential election won by Joe Biden. And there's the guy leading it right there, the fat liar, the Ted Cruz guy, the little hobbit, the dwarven hobbit right there. All right, nearly a dozen Republican senators and senators-elect on Sunday demanded a commission to audit the results of the 2020 election and said they would otherwise object to the electoral college votes that declared President-elect Joe Biden the winner. Though there is no evidence of any fraud in the election, despite numerous claims by President Donald Trump, the group of lawmakers said in a statement that they were calling on Congress to create a commission with full investigatory and fact-finding authority to conduct an emergency 10-day audit of the election returns in the disputed states. You might be saying that I've already done an article like this from Newsmax, but I'm also going to cover it from MSNBC so that you can see the difference in coverage here. If such a panel is not established, the group threatened on January 6th, when both chambers meet, to reject the electors from disputed states as not regularly given and lawfully certified the statutory requisite unless and until that emergency 10-day audit is completed. With the House in Democratic hands, there is no chance the rejection will have any effect on the outcome, and Biden will still be sworn in on January 20th. But the actions by the Republicans in both chambers will prolong the debate over certification until the final votes are tallied in Congress. Republican Senators Ted Cruz of Texas, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, James Lankford of Oklahoma, Steve Daines of Montana, John Kennedy of Louisiana, Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, and Mike Braun of Indiana signed on to the statement Saturday, as well as Senators-elect Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, Roger Marshall of Kansas, Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, and Tommy Tuberville of Alabama. The senators stopped short in their statement of saying they would bring forward a vote to object to the results. Already, Senators Lisa Murkowski, Republican from Alaska, said she would vote to affirm the election results, urging her colleagues from both parties to recognize the outcome and to join me in maintaining confidence in the Electoral College in our elections so that we assure we have the continued trust of the American people. Senator Pat Toomey, a Republican from Pennsylvania, one of the states where Trump has been contesting the results, said, "I voted for President Trump and endorsed him for re-election, but on Wednesday I intend to vigorously defend our form of government by opposing this effort to disenfranchise millions of voters in my state and others." An objection is not considered unless it is in writing and signed by both a member of the House and a member of the Senate. In a second. Now, for the objection to be sustained, both chambers must vote for it to a simple majority. If the chambers do not both agree, then the original electoral votes are counted. Senator Amy Klobuchar, Democrat from Minnesota, who will be one of the 4 lawmakers who participate in the tallying of electoral votes as the ranking member of the Senate Rules Committee, criticized the Republicans' move as a publicity stunt. It is undemocratic. It is un-American, she said. And unfortunately, it will be unsuccessful. In the end, democracy will prevail. The Biden campaign spokesman Mike Gwynn also dismissed it as a stunt that won't change the fact that President-elect Biden will be sworn in on January 20th, and these baseless claims have already been examined and dismissed by Trump's own Attorney General, dozens of courts, and election officials from both parties. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told Senate Republicans that a vote on objections will be the most consequential vote of his career, and he has been encouraging his Republican conference to not join these objections. The announcement Saturday came after Senator Josh Hawley, Republican from Missouri, on Wednesday became the first senator to say he would object to the certification of some states' electoral college results, forcing other Republicans to vote on whether to reject Trump's unsubstantiated claims of massive voter fraud in this year's election or disenfranchise millions of voters. Trump has lashed out at members of his own party who have failed to back up his outlandish claims of fraud, and has called for the resignation of local GOP officials who have refused to overturn their states' results. The president has not yet commented on the latest development, but his campaign tweeted a message of thanks to the senators. All right. We're going to move on here. All right. We're going to drop this link right here in the chat for you guys. Let me know how you guys doing. Let me know how your New Year's going. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Let people know that I run this stream, guys. Number to call in is 253-203-6784. Again, the number to call in is 253-203-6784. Again, number is going to be 253-203-6784. Let's get back into the news stories. All right, guys. So, come from NBC. Soldier, 16-year-old charged in death of Fort Drum corporal found shot, buried under snow. Jamal Mellish, 23, and the unidentified teenager face felony murder, kidnapping, and second-degree weapons charges, according to prosecutors. All right. An Army soldier and a 16-year-old boy have been charged in the murder of Hayden Harris, a corporal at Fort Drum, New York, who was found dead in New Jersey. Jamal Mellish, 23, and the unidentified teenager face felony murder, kidnapping, and second-degree weapons charges, according to the Sussex County Prosecutor's Office. Mellish was also charged with third-degree suppression of. Let me go back over that. Mellish was also charged with third-degree suppression of evidence. Harris, 20, was found shot to death and buried under snow in a wooded area of Byram Township on December 19th, shortly before his death. Harris had been reported missing. Firefighters discovered the body after they saw debris and blood along a roadway during an annual Santa ride. Wow. The top of the snow was stained with what appeared to be blood, the police department said in a statement. During a search of the disturbed area in the snow, the victim's body was found approximately 200 yards into the wooded area, mostly buried under snow. Investigators said that Mellish was supposed to exchange a Ford Mustang with Harris for a Chevy pickup truck. The two had a previous transaction. Police said, according to a Sussex County assistant prosecutor, authorities believe Mellish abducted Harris during a planned vehicle exchange. So he just took him. And killed him. Wow. Wow. Allegedly. Wow. Alexander Wang has been some Me Too allegations going on with that, according to NBC. So let's get into this story. I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you guys. Oh my God. This might be a Me Too story here. Designer Alexander Wang, accused of sexual assault, calls accusations grotesquely false. The designer, 37, known best for his eponymous brand, started in 2005, has been accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by a model based in the UK. Oh my God. Alexander Wang is a name synonymous with high fashion dressing, A-list celebrities from Lady Gaga to Kim Kardashian West. While Wang and his brand are mainstays on Fashion Week runways and red carpets all over the world, the 37-year-old designer, originally from San Francisco, is also known for frequenting dance floors and VIP backrooms of the hottest night spots. Night spots, I should say. It's in these types of locations that multiple accusers have alleged that Wang has performed non-consensual sexual acts on them. Earlier this month, Owen Mooney, a 26-year-old model based in the UK, shared an explicit story on TikTok accusing a really famous fashion designer of sexually assaulting him on the dance floor of a packed nightclub in New York City in 2017. I was by myself at one point, and this guy next to me obviously took advantage of the fact that no one could effing move, and he just started like touching me up and fully like up my leg, in my crotch, and it made me freeze completely because I was in so much shock. Mooney said in the TikTok video, I looked to my left to see who it was, and it was this really famous fashion designer. Like, I just couldn't believe that he was doing that to me. It made me go into even more shock. After another TikTok user guessed in the comments that Mooney's allegations were about Wang, in a subsequent video, Mooney named Wang as the designer, saying in part, it was so wrong. Now, anytime I see his name mentioned, it just reminds me of what he did. Wang, via a representative, told Today in a statement, over the last few days, I have been on the receiving end of baseless and grotesquely false accusations. These claims have been wrongfully amplified by social media accounts infamous for posting defamatory material from undisclosed and/or anonymous sources with zero evidence or any fact checking whatsoever. In the days since Mooney shared his allegations on TikTok, anonymous Instagram accounts at Diet Product and at S blank Model Management have been sharing unverified allegations of other non-consensual sexual acts involving Wang. Some share a similar theme where victims allege Wang laced their drinks with MDMA. Today reached out to these accounts, but has not heard back and was unable to verify these claims. Seeing these lies about me being perpetuated as truths has been infuriating, Wayne continued in his statement. I have never engaged in the atrocious behavior described and would never conduct myself in the manner that's been alleged. I intend to get to the bottom of this and hold accountable whoever is responsible for originating these claims and viciously spreading them online. So I mean that's all there really is to say about that, man. Alexander Wayne's been accused of something really, really crazy. So it's pretty wild. We got another wild story here. Alright, so this is gonna be WILX News 10. It's another NBC affiliate. I want you guys to see this story. Oh my god. This story is really, really interesting. Oh my god, this story is very, very interesting. So I'm just gonna pour myself some more of this brown sugar water. That's what soda is. It's just brown sugar water. All right. So guys, hit like button, hit share button. Let people know that I run this podcast. If you guys want to call in, the number to call in is 253-203-6784. And again, the number to call in is 253-203-6784. Let's get to the story here. The Pentagon has 180 days to disclose UFO information. It's hard to imagine many other times in American history where that fact could be overshadowed by bigger news. Oh my God. So here we go here. In 180 days, we could have full disclosure. All right. A lot is happening fast in the federal government. Leaders in the U.S. Had to come to an agreement on how to distribute vaccines, how to get the American people through the remaining months of the pandemic, and still attend to the normal business of creating the legislation that keeps the country funded. That business was handled Sunday when President Trump signed the $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief and funding, the $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief and federal funding bill. But there was one odd item included as a committee comment attached to the annual Intelligence Authorization Act, which was rolled into the 5,593 page bill. By order of the Senate, the bill includes language that directs the Director of National Intelligence to submit a report within 180 days of the date of the enactment of the act to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees on Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. In plain words, the Pentagon has 180 days to turn over all information it has on UFOs. It's hard to imagine many other times in American history where that fact could be overshadowed by bigger news. However, between the debate over how much money should go to households, the various looming deadlines on agreement, and the ongoing contest of election results, there hasn't been much bandwidth for this item. Estimating what information from that report, if any, will make its way to the American people is a challenge. In part, that's because there is little else to compare this order to in terms of precedent. Still, beyond everything we know, beyond everything we already know to expect, and everything else that will crop up between now and 180 days from now, there is one piece of news that will make the start of 2021 interesting. All right, guys. So I see we're running a little bit short, so we're gonna go ahead and end the podcast for there, right there. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for joining me in the podcast, and horns up. Peace out. Have a good day.